very much. As we all know, the best part of a cookie is when you're shaking the box. You know, when you turn the box, sometimes you get that last couple bit of crumbs that were hiding down in the corner. I have a monologue this evening. There was some leftover crumbs from some cookies I've gotten. My monologue this evening is based on another thrilling episode in the life of Freddie Johnson. I've told you about many episodes in Freddie's life. In this instance, Freddie took his main squeeze, Gloria, the flame of his heart. He took her to the movies. See, Gloria had been holding out on him lately. She wouldn't even kiss him goodnight, which makes it unnecessary to explain that he wasn't there in the morning. He took her to see The Exorcist. His friends had been telling him how chicks had been jumping out of their seats, grabbing their dates, and crawling all over, making, upset. He took her to see The Exorcist. They had to stand in line 3 hours. Finally, they got in and settled back in their seats. Freddie leaned back, waiting to catch Gloria when she jumped. The picture had only been on 3 minutes when Gloria screamed, "Oh, my goodness!" I'd like to deviate from the story a moment to explain to you why Gloria screamed. Gloria screamed because Freddie had fainted. That's why she screamed. You know, I feel that in some way this is a small contribution to women's lib. Generally, if I had said Gloria had screamed, you'd assume she was afraid. It was not Gloria, it was Freddie. There was a uniqueness, though, about his fainting even. Generally, when you faint, you just pass out on the floor. Freddie had fallen out across the arms of some of the seats there in the theater. It was obvious that even though he had passed out, his concern for his clothes was manifesting itself. He didn't want to fall on the floor and wrinkle that purple suit he had on. So there was a doctor there in the theater, and they called the doctor and they asked him what should be done. And the doctor said, well, the best way to revive him would be to give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Gloria gave one of the ushers there $2 and... gave him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. A few minutes later, during the course of watching the movie, Freddie turned green. Think about that, friends. Freddie turned green. Really? I mean, between you and I, Freddie was about 2 shades browner than I am. Hope I don't have to elaborate on that anymore. It should be quite easy for you to understand it was certainly an outstanding accomplishment for Freddie to turn green. Gloria loved every minute of it. Finally, the picture was over, and they went back to Gloria's house. When they got in the doorway to Gloria's apartment, Freddie suddenly made his move. He started screaming, "I'm possessed! I'm possessed!" And he grabbed Gloria and threw her down. He was tearing at her clothes and making mad, passionate love to her for 20 minutes. He was standing there buttoning his shirt, and he's saying to her, Gloria said, "I'm sorry. It wasn't my doing. Something came over me. The devil made me do it, just like in the picture. It was the devil who was kissing you and tearing at your clothes." Gloria said, "Freddie, I never want to see you again in my life. But if the devil isn't busy, he can come around again tomorrow night." Around the world, I searched for you. I traveled on when hope was gone to keep a rendezvous. I knew somewhere, sometime, somehow, you'd look at me and I would see the smile you're smiling now. It might have been in County Down or in New York, in Gay Paris, or even London town. No more will I go all around the world, for I have found my world in you. Yes, around the world I searched for you. But before I left, first I checked my room. I looked in the closet, under the bed, behind the chair, but you were nowhere. And I was nowhere without you. Then I took a plane, a train, a boat, a bus. I took a lot of buses. Thought perhaps I might run into you coming home from work one day. I looked for you in London. I even went to Buckingham Palace to watch the changing of the guard. They said you had watched them changed in the locker room, but you had left. Next, I looked for you in Germany. It was in Berlin, in the middle of the night. I thought for a moment I'd heard your voice, and I jumped from my bed to go look for you. I ran down the street in my pajamas, and people began following me. You know how they are in Germany. They thought I was wearing some new kind of uniform and wanted me to be their leader. Then I flew to Paris. There I stood in the middle of the night on the Rue de la Paix. I couldn't speak the language, but they figured I was a Frenchman at heart because I was still wearing my pajamas. And it happened. It comes back to me so vividly, it happened. Then this sexy-looking soul sister came along. Her name was Frou Frou. She wasn't bad, but she wasn't you. When I told her of my mission, she invited me up to her penthouse. She said it had a fantastic view, and maybe I could find you from there. So I went up to her penthouse, and it really did have a fantastic view. And when Frou Frou changed into a flimsy negligee, I stood there, admiring the view. Like I said, she wasn't bad, but she wasn't you. We had a drink, and then another. And suddenly she was raining kisses on my lips, my eyes, my nose, my throat, and I was caught in a cloudburst of her love. Her kisses grew wilder and wilder. She was like an enraged animal. She wasn't you, but she wasn't bad.